We got tired of the GOAT debate, so we made our own rating system to decide once and for all who the best player in the world is. On this video, we'll be counting down our list of the top 10 point guards currently in the NBA. And at number 10, we have Dejounte Murray.
Sam, Dejounte Murray is a guy that has come out in San Antonio this season and has performed at an extremely high level. A lot of people didn't see this jump in his development, but in Pop, we trust. This guy can develop talent, and he's showing it again in Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, I think that if he was on more of a winning team, not San Antonio, which is in this weird rebuild, but also trying to compete phase, he would be recognized certainly as a top 10 point guard by everybody. But it's our job now to bring that to the attention. We gave him an 82 overall rating. You can see the stats on the screen, and I think he definitely deserves it. But let's move on to number 9, and that's LaMelo Ball.
Sam, LaMelo Ball is the rookie of the year moving on from last season. And coming into his second season as the starting point guard for the Charlotte Hornets, he has inserted himself into the top 10 point guards in the NBA. He's sitting at number 9 with a 10 out of 10 playmaking. And I don't give 10s often, but LaMelo Ball left me no choice.
Yeah, no, he's certainly a beast. And I think LeVar, for how crazy he sounded before his boys were in the league, got it right on the money. Lonzo Ball is doing great work in Chicago, but LaMelo Ball is a certified star. Number 9 point guard in the league in just his second year.
Now, a quick tease, guys. We're going to show you some of the stats right now for the best player in this point guard list. It is your job right now to pause the video, go down to the comment section, and let us know who you think this player is.
But this next one might surprise a couple people because of how low he is on the list. But we got to do what we got to do. Number 8 is Trae Young.
You see, we judge every player equally. They are all criticized on these 5 stats that you see on your screen right now. So when we critique Trae Young, we have to give him Hall of Fame shooting and playmaking. The guy deserves a 10 out of 10 in those 2 categories. We do dock him off a little bit on the defensive end and the athleticism, but he's a really good finisher, especially with the meanest floater game in the NBA.
Yeah, because when we're making these categories, remember, every stat has so much different things that go into it. So finishing doesn't just mean high flying contact dunks. It could also mean, like you said, floaters, the layup package, maybe post moves depending on the player. And Trae Young got it, but the defense and athleticism really do dock him a lot of points, and that's why he's only number 8 on the list. But let's go on to number 7. I know the video is titled The Point God, and this is one of the point gods, but he's only number 7 on our list. CP3.
Chris Paul, arguably one of the best point guards of all time. We are currently doing this current ranking, not of all time. So obviously Chris Paul would be much higher all time. But right now he serves at 86 overall in the Banter rankings. And again, another Hall of Fame playmaker. And that's why he deserves a 10.
We saw what he did last year with the Suns, and that was no fluke. He's still killing it right now in the NBA with the Suns having, I think, the 2nd seed as of the recording this video in the Western Conference. But either way, they're going to be at the top of the West as long as CP3 is there. Moving on to number 6. This is a guy we've had multiple videos and hot takes about in the past. If you haven't seen those already, go check them out. But it's Ja Morant.
Now, Sam, on normal circumstances, I would include Ja Morant as a top 5 point guard in the NBA. Ja Morant is one of the most athletic point guards there is in the NBA, and he deserves the 10 out of 10 rating there. And as well with the finishing, we can't ignore how dangerous that dunk package is with anybody in front of him. He's a great finisher. There's no debate there. The guy deserves an 88 overall. Yes, he's better than Chris Paul. In my opinion, he's a top 5 point guard, but the banter ratings are never wrong. Before we move on to our top 5 point guards in the NBA, we are introducing a new series to you guys, the NBA Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is our amazing new series where we put NBA players against each other to determine which is the better player according to the Banter rankings that you are watching currently in this video. So make sure to stay tuned for the Gauntlet videos coming out soon. You guys don't want to miss this series.
Now, without further ado, let's jump into our top 5 point guards in the NBA, starting with number 5, Damian Lillard. As you can see on the screen right now, he is also an 88 overall, so maybe there is some debate whether Ja Morant or Damian Lillard is better, but in our opinion, Dame gets the slight edge. But stay tuned for a future Gauntlet video because we might debate that in further detail. But Jonathan, what do you think about Dame time?
So you're saying there's a chance John Morant's still a top 5 point guard. Okay, I'm loving it. But Damian Lillard, this guy's phenomenal. He's having a bit of a slump year in Portland. A lot of people are debating whether Portland is the answer for him. But Damian Lillard knows best for Damian Lillard. He's sticking it out. He's doing what he can with the pieces that he has been given. But he definitely deserves a 10 out of 10 rating for both shooting and playmaking. The guy is Logo Lillard for a reason. And he's very, very dangerous with the ball, which makes him such a threat when facilitating as well.
I think that it would not be surprising if we give his overall rating a boost in the coming months or even seasons. But as of right now, the banter ratings do not lie. We're moving on to number 4, and that is Luka Doncic.
Now, Sam, I told you the criteria changed a little bit this time. We are including Luka Doncic and other positions at the point guard positions, as long as they're the main facilitators for their teams. Luka Doncic comes into this list at number 4, which is quite crazy considering he's 22 years old. He's got Hall of Fame playmaking and finishing already, and he's got a 9 rating at shooting. The guy is an all-around player. Would love to see him do it more defensively as well, but that develops over the years. He's still only 22, Sam. So Luka Doncic deserves the 9D rating and deserves being in that purple category, that top tier list of players in the banter ratings.
Moving on to number 3, a kind of controversial pick because of the whole fiasco. Kyrie Irving with a 90 overall rating, also tied with Luka Doncic, but we got him having the edge at the number 3 spot here.
You know why? Because he's built different. Kyrie's got the best handle in the NBA, and there's no question about it. Sam and I wanted to maybe, in a further video, add an overall point for being the best at something, and Kyrie definitely deserves to be that player for playmaking and handles. He is the best handler the NBA has seen, maybe of all time. Sorry, Allen Iverson. All right? But this guy does it all. He finishes with the best layup package I've ever seen in my life. Kyrie Irving, top 3-point guard in the NBA.
But now moving on to number 2, his teammate, James Harden. Again, we changed up the criteria a little bit because James Harden can be classified as a shooting guard or as a point guard, but considering how much primary ball handling duty he does have, both on the Nets and the Rockets before them, he deserves to be a point guard, and he's the number 2 point guard in the league based on our ratings.
James Harden surpasses teammate Kyrie Irving and young star Luka Doncic as a 92 overall. We felt like James Harden is such a unique player for his position that he had to be included in the point guard, like Sam said, but he still scores like none other. This guy, both Hall of Fame finishing and shooting and playmaking, but those finishing and shooting stand out because those are 2 main scoring categories, and he'll do it to you on offense without a question, night in and night out.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like he's figured out the rule change as well because he's no longer foul hunting. He's just getting to his spots and making it happen, just like we know that he's capable of. But now, drum roll, please. I'm pretty sure you all know where this is going, but the number 1 point guard in the NBA, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is the Banter Broadcast's official point guard. He tops our top 10 list, and for good reason. The all-time leading shooter in NBA history set himself apart from the rest of the competition when he's putting up an MVP season campaign again. This guy is a true playmaker in every way, shape, and form. He gets 4 out of 5 Hall of Fame stats. Defensive IQ, we had to dock him a little bit, but he has improved. And yes, he has Hall of Fame athleticism. He runs like 15 miles a game.
Yeah, for real. And he doesn't necessarily look like the most athletic guy on the court, but he does run, like you said, 15 miles a game, running across screens. He never stops moving, and he definitely deserves this rating. Again, check back later because we might add a few extra points for being the best shooter of all time, considering every 3 he makes from now on is a new all-time record. Let me know what you guys think. There's definitely a lot of players that were left off of this list, so make sure to debate it in the comments. Tell us how right or wrong we are, but at the end of the day, these are the rankings. Banter Broadcast out.